Hey everybody, welcome to the channel, The Rock and Metal Guardian. I'm Dane, your host. Today I'm going to rank all the live albums from the band Rush. In a previous video I did all the studio stuff, so let's go ahead and get started. There are 15 here, so from worst to first, as they say. Number 15 is A Show of Hands. We have 14 songs and only 6 of them I like. This is the period of Rush I like the least. They're touring for the Hold Your Fire record, and that and Power Windows are two of my least favorite of all time. And there's just too much stuff from that middle period. And you don't have a full live experience. You only have 14 tracks. So that I can't imagine that's all they played on that tour. Anyway, so number 15 is A Show of Hands. Number 14 doesn't fare much better, but at least it's one above. This is the Grace Under Pressure 1984 tour, and has the same cover as that album. This album suffers in a similar way the previous one does. Simply, it's too short, and you have 2 medleys on here. I'm not a medley person. Just play the whole song, or play some of them if it's too long, right? One of the medleys is YYZ / Temples of Syrinx / Tom Sawyer. Then you have Vital Signs in its entirety, and then it finishes up with Finding My Way / In the Mood. Just not enough tracks on here to rank higher. So that comes in at number 14. Number 13 is the Permanent Waves show. This is the Permanent Waves Deluxe Edition. It has the remastered album, and then the Permanent Waves World Tour 1980. Again, this doesn't have the number of songs you would expect for a live show, but it's quite good because you have a lot of the old stuff here. You have Beneath, Between, and Behind to Open by Torn and Snow Dog. You have Xanadu, Spirit of Radio, Natural Science, The Trees. You have both Cygnus X1 and Cygnus X2, and It Ends with Free Will, which is a great song. So this is worth getting. All right. Coming in at number 12 is R40, 40th Anniversary Live. This is a 3-disc set, so as you'll see, perhaps a pattern here. Rush began to realize, hey, we need to give more of the live experience by having, more tracks on our live. So let's make it a double. Let's make it a triple. Well, let's make it a triple, excuse me. So this begins with 2 songs from Clockwork Angels, and The Anarchist and Headlong Flight. Then you get into some Snakes and Arrows stuff. But this has a wealth of their whole discography on it, and you can't go wrong really with 3 tracks. You get the whole live experience, as I said. And then you get, on the disc 3, you get some bonus tracks. Anyway, so this is a great nostalgic release in the sense that you really hear some classic tracks. So this is definitely worth getting. Now, it's ranked kind of low. It's ranked very low because here you start to feel Geddy's voice isn't as prominent as it used to be. He's still worth seeing live or hearing live, but just, he's not in his prime anymore, that sort of thing. Next is number 11, Rush in Rio, also a 3-disc set. And this, like the previous one, you have such a wealth of different songs from different Rush periods. So there's something for everyone here. And I remember Neil Peart saying in an interview that when they played in Rio, when the rain started to come down, how surreal playing was. And I have this on DVD as well. So this is worth having. And it's ranked so low because there's just so much other stuff that's even better, and this is really good too. So next is R30, so the 30th anniversary stuff, and like the previous 2 I showed you, there's a wealth of songs from all their periods for the most part, and Geddy's voice is not in his prime, but it's a notch or 2 above the way he sings on R40. So yeah, age has crept in here, but not as bad as the R40. R40 is not bad at all, but you can tell that, hey, Geddy just isn't the singer he used to be. So anyway, R30 is quite good. I'm not sure if that's still in print, but if you can get it, like Discogs or something, I highly recommend you do that. Next is number 9, Clockwork Angels Tour. And 2-disc set here. No, I changed I'm sorry, I misspoke. This is a 3-disc set, so they're still on track with that. And you also have an encore of Tom Sawyer 2112, and then after that you get some bonus tracks. And this is, of course, they're playing a lot of the new stuff from their last album, but it also has some old stuff. Does it have old stuff? No, but it's still quite good. This is worth having, definitely. And coming in at number 8 is Time Machine, live in Cleveland. One of my favorite parts of this album is when you get to La Via Strangiato. It opens with this circus or carnival instrumentation, and I saw them on this tour, and when they played it, I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And I don't know this. Is this a new song that they were going to release? And no, they're goofing around. They're being silly as they want to do, right? And it works because when La Via Strangiato begins and finally gets in that heavy part that we know, that we love so much, that opens the song, it makes it more heavier because of the whimsical part that tricks us into thinking it's something else. And this has a great wealth of songs from different eras. Doesn't go to the early stuff, but it's very good. So again, Time Machine tour. Next is Snakes and Arrows live, and I saw them on this tour as well. And a lot of songs, of course, from the album at the time, hence the name of the album. Yeah, you got some tracks in here that you don't have on any of the other live stuff. You have Entre Nous. You have Digital Man. I don't think that's on any of their other live material. You have... Yeah, that's pretty much it as far as stuff that... Oh, you have Secret Touch on here, so that's a nice treat. So this is quite good. I definitely recommend that. Now, number 6 is Live at Hammersmith Odeon, 1978, unabridged. And this can be found on the deluxe set of A Farewell to Kings. And you've heard of this before because there's the one-disc version on this Different Stages album, and that's the incomplete. This is, again, Live at Hammersmith Odeon, February 20th, 1978. 2 discs, 2, count them, 2. And this has often been referred to as the Holy Grail of Rush live recordings. It's definitely great, but for me, it's not the Holy Grail. Holy Grail is going to be my number 1. You see that today. But this is nothing to sneeze at. This is, again, number 6. All right, number 5, Hemispheres, live in concert, 1978, Arizona, unabridged, 2 CD set. You get Anthem, Passage to Bangkok, By-Tor and the Snow Dogs, Xanadu, The Trees, Cygnus X1, Hemispheres, Closer to the Heart, Something for Nothing. That's a nice treat. Then disc 2, Circumstances, 2112, Farewell to Kings, La Via Strangiato, and then Working Man, Bastille Day, In the Mood, / drum solo as a medley, 13 and change. Wonderful, wonderful, hence the shirt, right? So you've seen posters and shower curtains and bedspreads. This is a great photo, right? You have to get this if you can still find this. A friend got me that for my birthday a while back. I was very grateful. Didn't know it was a thing. Number 4, Different Stages, 3 discs. Disc 3 is the abridged version of what I just mentioned from the Farewell to Kings deluxe version, the Hammersmith Odeon show. This is just fabulous. You get, I think this is the first time they did 2112 in its entirety in a while. Opens with Dreamline, great song. Limelight, early again instead of later on as a part of the encore. Driven, Bravado. You have Show Don't Tell live, so that's a nice treat. Nobody's Hero, can kind of do without, but it works here. Closer to the Heart, one of my favorite versions on here. And the set ends with, set 2 ends with YYZ. So, and then you have Tom Sawyer that comes before that. Just, this is wonderful. This is a must. If you can, I think you can still get this. This is still in print, I do believe, but don't quote me on that. This used to be my number 1 for the longest time, but it has slipped to number 3, and you'll see why in a few minutes. And that is Exit Stage Left. I remember when I first got this, my mom drove me to Sound Warehouse to pick this up right when it came out. And I remember she needed to make a stop before I could go home and listen to it. And she had to, buy something from the Quickie Mart or whatever. And I remember just sitting in the back seat going, wow, look, this is going to be awesome. And it is, despite the fact that it's an incomplete concert. And I don't know, when they produced this, when they made this, they decided to fade out all the songs and not connect them one to, so kind of, I'm cheating you from the full live experience. They don't run into each other like a live recording would, or rather when you go see a live show. So I'm not, still can't get over why they did it that way. But anyway, still up there, number 3, Exit Stage Left because it is my favorite version of La Via Strangiato. All right, number 2, All the World's a Stage. Okay, this is them on the 2112 tour, and this sucker rocks. This is to Rush what Song Remains the Same is to Led Zeppelin. For many reasons. It only has 10 songs, but it's fabulous. A lot of heavy stuff. 2112, not in its entirety, in a bridge version, but it's great. My favorite version of By Torn the Snow Dog. In the end, you have Working Man, Finding My Way towards the end before the closing song is What You're Doing, and it's so heavy, so heavy. Of course, it opens with Bastille Day and then Anthem, etc., etc. And you have the wonderful Lakeside Park on here as well, so that's a nice treat. Finally, number 1. This is on the 3-disc version of Moving Pictures Remastered that came out a year and a half ago. And this has disc 2 and disc 3 are the full Exit Stage Left concert, which you could only get previously, from my understanding, is in bootlegs. This has the whole spiel. This has, and I'm going to read all the songs. It begins with the 2112 Overture and then Temples. Then you get Free Will, Limelight. Cygnus X1, Book 2, Hemispheres Prelude, Beneath, Between, and Behind, The Camera Eye, YYZ, Bruins Bane, The Trees, Xanadu. That's disc 1. Disc 2, Spirit of Radio, Red Barchetta, Closer to the Heart, Tom Sawyer, Vital Signs, Natural Science. Then you get a medley of Working Man, Cygnus X1, Book 2, Hemispheres, Armageddon, The Battle of Heart and Mind, By Torn the Snow Dog, In the End, In the Mood, 2112 Grand Finale. And then La Via Strangiato by itself in its entirety, almost as good as what's on Exit Stage Left. This became my number 1 because it's got all the tracks of the whole tour, unlike Exit Stage Left. I remember years ago hoping that Rush would do what they've been doing with their studio albums and release a deluxe version of Exit Stage Left. Well, this is essentially it because it's the whole studio, it's the whole live set. It's not abridged. And I remember a guy posting, yeah, man, I wish they'd do that too on Amazon after I'd put that comment for the Exit Stage Left review that I had posted years and years ago. So this is, and the version of La Via Strangiato is only this far away from being as good as the one on Exit Stage Left. And if you get this on vinyl, I have this on vinyl as well, La Via takes up the very last side, which is like side 8 or side 6 or something. Yeah, I think side 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. So so it's clean and crisp. So there you have it, everybody. These are my rankings for the Rush live albums from worst to first, this being my favorite of all time. Please tell me in the comments below what your thoughts are. And don't forget to hit that notification button and the like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great and blessed day.